Joining me now is former FBI Assistant Director and former FBI agent and attorney, Chris Swecker. Christopher, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Assess this situation. How could any of this have happened? How could any shooter have gotten shots out? And what happened with the Secret Service protection?
Yeah, it was a complete breakdown in their security planning, their execution, their mitigation, if you will, the reaction after the shooting, and taking 2 full minutes to get former President Trump off the stage. I counted it down, 2 full minutes. And they actually teed him up afterwards, by letting him stick his head up. Great moment for him, but if there had been a second shooter, they would have finished the job. So planning, execution, I mean, there's no way. With AR-15s having an effective range of 600 yards, there's no way their perimeter should have been 100 yards or 110 yards. This was clear. This was 130 yards, and it was outside their perimeter. In fact, it was kind of a big party outside that 100-yard perimeter, and not much security. So, this whole security plan and execution is going to get ripped apart. I think the Inspector General of Homeland Security will come in. And Congress, of course, is looking at it. And I think it's going to be one of those lessons learned. Don't do this. This is how not to do it.
Well, I mean, I'm still trying to understand how it happened. I mean, there are growing calls this morning for the Secret Service director, Kimberly Cheadle, to resign after the total security breakdown at that rally. Critics say that she dropped the ball because she was too busy focusing on woke diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Chris, your reaction to that?
Yeah, I mean, everything I've read is to that, says that basically. I think clearly the buck stops with her. She's the director. And the planning for these types of events this is what they do. This is all they do, or should be all they do. I think the Secret Service over the years has been allowed to get into other areas, economic crimes, small economic crimes, and things like that. And it's really not fun to be, what we call babysitter. They'd rather do the other things. So they're not getting the best and brightest on these details.
Well, there's even more than that. A Real Clear Politics reporter reported that one of the problems was that the Secret Service's resources were being diverted to Jill Biden, the first lady. She was having an event, and that the Secret Service resources were being diverted to her. Now, I want to be clear, the White House is denying that. The Secret Service is denying that. But apparently, the resources were taken from Trump, and they followed agency protocol applying to Trump as a former president versus a sitting first lady. What do you make of that? Because, by the way, the Secret Service says it's making no changes to the RNC security detail here. The Secret Service RNC coordinator told reporters, quote, "We are confident in the plans that we have and are moving forward with those plans." So take that on, Chris. Number one, we understand that there's speculation that the Secret Service's resources were diverted to Jill Biden. And number two, there's been no plans to make any changes here at the RNC, despite the assassination attack.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to Dan Bongino yesterday, and I consider him credible. He comes from the inside, and he has inside sources, and that's exactly what he said. And if that is the case, and we find that, and we need to get to the bottom of it very quickly, the director needs to be fired. If it's a resource issue, and they had the resources, and they were diverted elsewhere, then she ought to be immediately fired. In fact, the entire chain of command. This is a leadership failure if that's the case. And if there's something more nefarious here, we need to dig into that. And I hope that whoever does this inquiry, and there are probably going to be several, gets to the bottom of that quickly. Because this is, we can't have this. This was pure negligence, gross negligence. I've done security assessments. I do a lot of them. And, this is security 101.
Yeah.
To secure the rooftops, make sure you have line of sight on the rooftops, anticipate, plan, and then get your protectee out of the danger zone immediately.
Really? We'll be waiting to see more details out of that probe. The investigation is underway in terms of how this happened. Chris Swecker, thanks very much.